What's up, everybody? This is DTM Delta Tango Mike. I hope you had a great week so far with all the Adobe Live goodness. There's a ton of amazing artists and professionals ready to share some Adobe creativity. So, thank you for joining us. I am DTM. Like I said, find me anywhere on the internet, Delta Tango Mike. And I want to give a big shout out to everybody who's already joining us on the chat here on Behance. We got Annika in the house. Annika, thank you for coming through and moderating. Watch out. Don't let don't get an elbow from Annika. Be civil in the chat. And what's up, Misty in the house joining us. Of course, D78 is also here. And if you don't know about our Discord, you need to check out some of my live streams because we already have folks in Discord hanging out watching this in real time behind the scenes. All right, so what is DTM Versus? DTM Versus is an art battle where I challenge an artist in coming up with a theme and a drawing all within 1 hour. Of course, we have less than an hour, so we're going to jump in real soon in a second. Before I introduce my guest for today, I will tell you that these artists who agreed to battle me, they have to do a sketch and they have to do a final drawing so that we can spend this hour going through our process. So there will be a lot of questions and answers going around about the creative process. However, before the show is over, we will show off our final artwork and you will get a chance to vote on your favorite. Now, what does the winner of the favorite artist art get? Just a lot of applause and some bragging rights. And that's the fun of it, right? We're here to have fun and have a good time, but also enjoy the company of amazing artists and yourself, and then discuss the creativity of workflows and ask questions. So feel free to leave comments, questions, and suggestions in the chat, and we're gonna jump right in. Let me go ahead and give a big shout out to Marcel joining us on YouTube. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel for Adobe Live, make sure you like and subscribe because there's always something cool going on. All right, so here is our DTM versus TeMika the artist. So let's go ahead and bring her on. Hey, TeMika, how are
Hey,
you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. Welcome to the show. I appreciate you taking the time to come through and hang out with us and share some Adobe Fresco goodness.
Well, I'm happy to be here. It's been a little while since I've drawn with you, so it's going to be a great time as always.
All right, there you go. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and let me see if I can show our screens. There we go. We have our screens ready. You know what? I should have had my screen already at blank. But tell us about the theme that you chose and why did you choose it?
All right. So, the theme that I chose was child's imagination. So, the imagination of a child, it goes pretty wild sometimes when they're thinking about what they want to be when they grow up or the
Hmm.
things that they want to do. And so, I figured I'd throw that at you and see how you do.
All right. And I think that artists they still have like a child's imagination.
Absolutely.
Cause
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I think it takes a lot for you to believe in yourself and to believe in the fact that you can have whatever it is that you see in your mind. Like
Hmm.
artists are manifestors. Like they see things, they see their own vision of what their lives will be and whatever they want to create, and that's what we do.
That's right. Yep. And sometimes we have those moments where we're lost in the clouds somewhere, like lost in your imagination somewhere else. You're not even
Hmm.
here anymore.
That's true. That's true. That's why you got to have people reel you back in.
That's right. There you go. Bring you back in. Big ups to RB coming through. Hey, Dan and Tamika says RB. RB is also one of the members of our Discord. Thank you for stopping through. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So, what do you have to share with us about your starting your process? Anything that you want to show?
So, so most of the time, my process either starts with a prompt, like say if I'm working with an author, they'll have something written for me. But for this particular project that we're doing today, I started brainstorming, like what are
Mm-hmm.
the things that children imagine themselves doing. So for me, I wrote this a story a few years ago about this child who was dreaming of being a race car driver, and so I started thinking about like how does that actually look? What does it look like when a child is a small person imagining being a race car driver?
Mhm. Mhm.
Maybe they're driving in a cardboard box or any other number of things that kids would actually make up
Mhm.
um, the idea of being a driver in. So, but everything starts with a brainstorm. It's like what setting can you put that person in, or animal or whatever that character in. How can you make them react to their environment? I like to try to make characters be slightly animated and expressive. So I'm thinking about how can I make them move through that space as well.
Mhm.
It's a lot of thoughts about like what are the characters' motivations? What do they want? What are they trying to achieve? What's their personalities?
Mhm.
Um, what are the things that they like as far as their clothing? Like how does that express who they are? So there's just it's some brainstorming that goes on in the early stages.
Mhm. Me, I just started drawing. Like I'm gonna figure it out as I sketch.
Ooh, that takes up some time though. That takes up
Yes,
some time. Yeah.
yes. And so this is where that imagination comes into play. Your creativity. You
Hmm.
gotta you gotta get used to pulling it from wherever it lives inside of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you gotta go in and grab it. And so when you told me the theme that we were going to draw, I was thinking, okay, that's very broad. Child's imagination, it can go everywhere and anywhere.
Hmm.
And I remember being a kid and always daydreaming about stuff. And half the time I would draw it out because I wanted to see what it looked like. And so, I had to find something that we could all relate in one way or another.
Yeah.
And so I drew a little kid. And if anybody was watching my live stream from the other day, they'll then you have an inside look as to some of the creative process. So check out some of my live streams. In any case, I was sitting here on Adobe Fresco with the pencil, working on one layer, and just roughing out the idea. And I see what TeMika's doing already. Started with the body and some shapes, and then boom, it looks like some kind of box, and that's exactly what I like to do is shapes. Start with the shapes, and figuring out, well, is this person standing? Are they running? So I wasn't sure, but you know what happened? I do know. I remember what happened. I did spend a week thinking about the drawing that I was going to do. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I was thinking about it, but not drawing anything.
Yeah.
Just chilling at the beach, thinking about it.
That's a good place to chill and think. The funny thing is like that's a part of my process too is the thinking. And sometimes my thinking lasts a little too long because I'm overthinking it. But I do like to try to leave enough space in the drawing process where like I'm observing what's in the world.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm thinking, like, say for instance, if I'm working on a project for this particular thing that I'm drawing today, I'll start seeing children playing with boxes out in the world,
Mm-hmm.
or I'll see an outfit that a child is wearing that gives me inspiration, or just how somebody's moving. So because I'm thinking about that project, then
Mm-hmm.
I start becoming aware of things that might be inspiration for me.
Yeah. Yes. And so the world around you, everything is inspiration.
Hmm.
Yes, that's right. Very good. While I was at the beach, that's when I was talking to my wife about the drawing, and I told her
Hmm.
my idea, and she helped me frame a few things,
Hmm.
but I didn't want to start sketching yet because like when I was gonna sketch, I wanted to make sure that I had thought it all and far enough that by the time I start sketching, I will see other things.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that's what happens. And the RB just said soapbox car, and as soon as you start drawing, maybe you have some idea about something, but as soon as you start to sketch, the sketch itself will look like something that you're like, you know what, I'm gonna hold on to that. I think I like that.
Yeah. Hmm. That's so true. That's so true. And the other thing though is sometimes I'll start a sketch and it'll be going in the wrong direction, and that'll force me to start looking at references.
Mm.
But what I like to do first is get my idea out first, and then go look for the reference so that I feel like I'm working from a more authentic place.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Okay.
if, like, say for instance, I don't know what a boxcar looks like. Actually, Bree and I had a conversation about boxcars last year, I think, and she gave me a lot of ideas
Okay.
of how to work on the sketch. So sometimes you might have to phone a friend, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need a little extra help. But I like to get my idea out first, even if it's just a rough sketch of what I think a boxcar or this child moving in this way is going to look like. And then if I need to look for references, I can do that too.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So my original idea was to have a an astronaut in space, floating in space, and playing with a space shuttle.
Hmm.
And I'm from the time period where the space shuttle, Columbia,
Mm.
Challenger, and there was four of them. I think they were very similar. I forgot the names
Hmm.
now, but those were the current shuttles at that time, the space shuttles. And so
Hmm.
so that's what I like to draw. I like to draw those now. I don't know. I'm just stuck on it. I'm stuck on it. Big ups to Star and Borderline for joining us on YouTube. Thank you for stopping through. And so that's what I wanted to do. But then the more I thought about it, because we were at the beach. I kind of wanted to have some water elements, so maybe she is floating. And that's when mermaid came
Mm.
into play. The month of May, a lot of
Hmm.
artists draw mermaids.
Yep.
So on the other day when I was streaming, I said, you know what? We're gonna turn this astronaut into a mermaid. And so what was it? Was it Bree or RB who said something about? Or was that you, the astronaut mermaid?
That was me.
That was you.
Because I hopped in and I watched your stream the other day, and I was like, let me see what he's working on,
Yes.
because I intend to beat him today. I got some tricks up my sleeve.
Well, as long as you share those tricks, I'm cool with it. Oh man.
Uh-huh.
And so here's my drawing. I did this sketch. Now, again, at the beginning of the stream in the chat, Annika dropped the link that says download the sketches. So if you want a copy of this sketch or any of the sketches that we've had in these DTM versus art battles, then go ahead and click on that link. Look through the folders in that Dropbox link, and you'll be able to go through and download any other sketches, including the final artwork that I have turned into wallpaper. Only my final artwork have I turned into wallpaper, because I know none of the other artists have I asked for permission on that. But you can download my artwork as a wallpaper if you want. Bam. And then RB, you're so silly. RB says start now and then next month so you can call her Mermaid June. All right.
RB.
Yes, yes. Only RB understands RB. Don't worry about it, everybody. Web fan on YouTube says just got in late. Hi from upstate New York. Welcome. TeMika Grooms, your talent with the digital pen is impressive. I started learning Illustrator, and there's a question here. Are there any drawing tablets that you recommend for a beginner? Ooh.
Ooh, Dan, I'm gonna pass that off to you, because you are the one who knows about all that.
Yeah, but they didn't give me a compliment. No, I'm just playing. Yeah,
But I know where my strengths are.
gotcha,
You need to
gotcha.
answer that question,
Yes, yes, yes. I'll answer that question, and I'm
please.
gonna show off the sketch that I started during the live stream the other day, as I explained that answer. So here it is. Boom. So the idea that I had of making the astronaut a mermaid, this is what started that process all over again. I didn't start the whole drawing all over again, but I did enough of the character that I said, let me go back and start this process all over again. And so here is the mermaid character and just a rough sketch. And as I'm talking about this, I'm going to let you, all of you out there, know that we are both drawing on a Surface Pro. So
Hmm.
Tamika is in a different room here in my home studio, and I'm in a different room, separate from each other. But we both have our own Surface Pro. I think TeMika has the Surface Pro 7,
Mm-hmm.
and I have the 5, Surface Pro 5. So it's still holding on, Surface Pro 5.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it depends on the machine that you like, the tablet that you like. Sometimes we're on an iPad, sometimes we're on a Surface. Tamika, you have a couple of display screens that you draw on.
I do. I do. I have a Wacom at home, and it feels weird coming to the Surface because it's so much smaller. But it is nice that I can kind of take this on the go if I'm trying to sketch. It's more affordable than the Wacom in general. But if you're just starting out, uh, Dan gave me this advice many years ago. Just start out with what is in your budget, see how that works for you, and then use that until it's time for you to upgrade again. And so I've upgraded several times,
Hmm.
but I started off with oh my gosh, what's it called? Dan, help me out. What's the small tablet that you can't even
That
see?
bamboo, it's just
Yes.
called a drawing tablet, the
Yep.
bamboo and by Wacom and
Yep.
Intuos. Uh huh.
And that worked well for me
Hmm.
during that time. So um, it's not so much about the device, it's more so about the art that you're creating on it.
Hmm.
And are you going to be consistent about creating art on it? So, and then that'll kind of help you determine what price point you want to spend that to.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. There you go. I'm glad some of that stuff I said you still remember. That's good.
Right. I just, you taught me well.
There you go. There you go. And now, so to that is correct. So you start with purpose. What are you gonna do with it? So it's three P's: purpose, price, and preference. And I think it doesn't matter the order, um, except that if you start with price and you have a budget in mind, then it's not so much about what you prefer; it's as to what you can afford. But if there is no price and you don't have a budget and it's whatever, then you go buy yourself the biggest, most expensive thing that's out there. How about that? Boom. But purpose is important because you need to know, well, do I intend to have final complete artwork like Tamika and I who do professional art, and the art has to be done completed in a file format that is going to be used later on through the to publishing. And Tamika has a published children's book author and illustrator, and so you need to know, well, what's the purpose of the art. And once you understand the purpose of the art, then you're going to have to spend a certain amount depending on the kind of devices and computers or tablets that are going to be able to support that kind of work. So start
Hmm.
with that. Yes, start with that. And Annika says, "Is Tamika in the upstairs studio?" Look at Annika. That's right. I have an upstairs studio, and what I have upstairs is a game room with a setup where I can stream from. And I only did that because I have an extra computer. It's a very old computer, but it still works for streaming. And so I told myself, you know what? Sometimes I want to be upstairs,
Hmm.
and so I have a whole game room, but with the setup for streaming. So yeah, that's the upstairs, Annika. But down here is I have several rooms with several desks with and I keep saying this, I'm a hoarder, but the reality is, when you once you get to a certain level and professional and you charge people for your work, the last thing you want to say is
Mm.
I can't finish because something happened.
Hmm.
It's like, no, no, no. I will,
Yeah.
yeah. So you have to have backups. You need
Yep.
a backup to your backup. You need a second computer, second device, a second laptop. And I have a Surface that I'm drawing on, and here's another Surface right here next to me, and this one is a Surface Pro 4.
Hmm.
And it's like I will cry if something happens to one of my Surface, but I'll get over it right after that and get to working on the second device. You got to. So yeah, you
Annika,
go ahead.
Annika, let me tell you, I want to be like Dan when I grow up. I want to have 10 studios in my house, and I will one day.
Hmm. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And so now, backup for your backup for your backup, says Annika. That's right. And so
Yeah.
and so now Tamika's working on a lot of cool projects, and we'll get to hear some of those projects before the stream is over. And what she said earlier is right. The bigger the device you're with, the bigger the screen, the easier time you have drawing. And even though I love the iPad, I love the Surface, they're kind of tiny, and so you're always trying to squeeze what you can out of here. And if you notice, my Surface Pen has this grip tape on it because I don't want to have to hold the pen so tight that as time goes on you end up with cramps. And so if you are an artist, digital artist, and your knuckles start to feel cramped after hours of drawing, it's natural, but that means that you need to relax your fingers.
I will remember that.
Hmm.
I, I ran into that this morning when I
Oh.
was working, trying to finish my drawing
Hmm.
at the last minute, and my hands started locking up. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm out of
Hmm.
practice."
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's part of the process to feel like that you have to grip the pen a particular with certain pressure so that you can draw what you need to draw. But this is where Wacom has been really excellent, and I don't have any of those pens here because my Wacom is upstairs. Is that the pens, the Wacom pens? Oh my gosh, they're chunky. They have this rubbery feel to them, so you kind of just feel like you're just holding it in your hand. You
Mm.
don't have to sit there and grip it. So there you go. Boom. So start what you got, what you can, web fans. Start whatever you can get to start drawing.
It's a great question, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for your question. All right. So I'm going to explain a little bit about my creative process right now because I'm turning on a few layers that I have ways to go to finish my drawing yet. So I did a sketch. I cleaned up my sketch of my astronaut mermaid, and I forgot what you said. Astronaut mermaid, mermaid astronaut, astronaut,
Aquanaut.
aquanaut. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, yes, that's right. That was it. This is
Mm-hmm.
my aquanaut. So my aquanaut, she has some puffs, afro puffs. She's wearing some part of the astronaut getup, and as you see, the body curls up as a mermaid tail does. And of course, she's a child, but I went a little crazy with that tail. Like I wanted it to be like really intense. And so that's already in. I wanted to do a background so it looks you could tell where she is, and there is water in space, says SLP Price. And so sure, whether it's outer space or deep underwater, because it almost starts to look the same.
Mm.
Um, is well, that's what I kind of environment I wanted. And so then after that, if you can see down here, I wanted the planet Venus and in outer space. I wanted my uh, Aquanaut to hang out in her natural environment, which is in Venus. And so now that I did my background, I have a layer. Let me see, where is it? It's way up here. It's all out of order. That's how we do. That's what we do around here. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Boom. And so now, um, I wanted to have some of those rivers that you see in Venus and the planet Venus, but I also wanted to kind of mix in that ocean feel to it. So there's some corals, coral reef, and along with the planet. And I was like, boom. So now from there, what I started to do was to color in. And so this drawing is a big experiment in watercolor, which TeMika is super talented on it. Mm.
Man, Dan, let me tell you though, I tried to do this finished drawing in watercolor,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't working. And I think it was because of the type of colors that I was choosing for the finished piece. Um, but it wasn't working. So it didn't feel like a watery
Uh huh.
type image. So,
Mm-hmm.
but so I went in a different direction. But
Okay. Okay.
I think yours is gonna work well with watercolor.
Yeah.
Did my question though?
Uh-huh.
Did you use the Fresco's active watercolors, the ones that
Oh, you know what? No, I didn't, and and I realized that way later when I accidentally clicked on the live brushes
mhm.
option that says reduce canvas size. My canvas is too big to support those brushes, and
Uh,
so but I found a Kyle T. Webster brush
yes.
that is
Yep.
watercolor soft.
Mhm.
So, this is like a big deal for anybody who has the Creative Cloud.
Yeah.
You can download tons of brushes from Adobe, and if you're on Fresco, down at the bottom of the panel for the brushes, it has a little icon with the plus and then add brushes, and you can click on it, and then you can import from files or discover new brushes. And when you click on discover new brushes, it opens up another page where you can download a ton of brushes, all created by the amazingly talented Kyle T. Webster.
Absolutely.
Whew. And look at that.
Yeah.
I got them all. I download them all the time when I forget if I have it. I don't remember if I have it or not. Let me download it again.
Mhm. Yeah, he did a watercolor session a few weeks ago that I watched it, and it was really good. I haven't gotten his methods down yet, but I think I'm gonna keep playing with it. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that guy, he's so effortless when he's drawing, and he's all, talking. He has a very serious tone of his voice, but he's
hmm
very friendly. And so it's kind of hard to understand, like, how can you talk, be so friendly, and then have that very straight arrow type of voice. But then as he's drawing, it's like, I didn't even know that was going to happen.
yeah, yeah, he's quick with it too.
Yes.
So you got to be watching.
Yes, yes, yes. The drawing is going to transform immediately.
Yeah.
SOP Price says, I did see your comment earlier, SOP Price says, and backup power cables and cords. We have boxes, you don't never throw away a wire or cord. And a few years ago, we moved, and a friend of mine had gifted me an old Wacom tablet, display tablet, that was very old. It worked, but you're not gonna use it. It's just the drivers are not gonna support it. It's just very old, but it looks cool. So I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Well, I was in the middle of moving, packing a bunch of wires and cables, and I saw this one cable. I was like, I don't know what this is, so I threw it away. And then when I
Mm-mm-mm.
finished moving in and started setting things up, that is the one cable I needed. I was like,
Wow.
oh,
Wow.
oh. So yeah. So now it just sits there looking cool, but it's you need extra cables and backup cables.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yes, yes. Loves
Never enough wires.
right. Web fan says thank you for the replies, and Tamika, the expression you gave her eyes is telling her feelings as a race car driver. The eyes
Thank
and the
you.
angle is the focus. Look at that. Yeah.
She's focused. She's gonna win,
Mhm.
just like me. Just like me. See?
She go win. That's right. Loves Data, welcome to the stream. Both are awesome, says Loves Data on YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. But so yeah, Kyle T. Webster has a lot of amazing brushes. You want to go ahead and download them. Annika says Kyle is the best. That's right. Mrs. says yes. Why would you ever throw away a cable? Be a pack rat like me. Yeah. Well, I learned my lesson, and so yes, we have a few boxes of just random cables. And whenever, and it's very necessary because whenever you find something that you want to use, you're like, I don't know what happened to this cable. Well, I have a box, and I'm gonna dig
Yeah.
through it. And I'll find.
And there's probably one in there.
Yes. Yeah. So you spent a lot of time working on a sketch. You got you did the rough sketch, the shapes. You're cleaning up your sketch. So you like to not change your layers. You like to just rework
That
the sketch.
that is so true. So I come from a very traditional way of drawing. And in the real world, you don't have, well, you don't necessarily have layers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You also don't have the undo button, but I still kind of approach things the same way, especially when I'm starting off. So a lot of the times what I do is I do my scribbling, really expressive gesture drawings,
Mm-hmm.
and then I start to erase back out of it to find out what is the real shape. Not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily the final line work, but what's the shapes that I'm kind of molding out of those scribbles.
Mm-hmm.
And the scribbles always look crazy in the very beginning. When I work with a publisher, especially if they haven't worked with me before, I'm like, it's gonna look crazy in the beginning. Just bear with me. I'm going through that right now,
Mm-hmm.
cleaning up some sketches that for a book project that I'm working on, and it's looking really rough right now, but it's gonna come together. I just have to go through the process. So,
Okay, okay. Well, you can start revealing some of your layers if you want and start detailing out some things because we got another 10 minutes to go before everybody gets a chance to vote on their favorite drawing.
oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. Just like that. So fast.
So Dan, you're essentially telling me I have to draw faster.
Yes, yes. Time is running out. Oh my gosh. And so,
It never fails.
yes. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. And
Hmm.
there, yeah, you want to take your time, hang out, relax. And yep, the time is moving. So here's me using the Kyle's watercolor, Kyle's Ultimate Watercolor Soft. What does it say? Two by 17. I don't know why, but 2K17. Oh, okay, okay, okay. And so I'm sitting here just coloring in some shade, some a little bit of a color with that brush, and I have to get used to it. I was never really good. I haven't really. Well, I can't say I'm not good. I just haven't spent the time with watercolors,
Mm.
and so I don't know how they're supposed to act and what is going on. And I try to, and I think I go back into my sketching style
Mm.
when using watercolors, and that's not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to take my time and work on this. And I remember many years ago, TeMika came to me and said, I have this watercolor drawing that I need to send off as a digital file. And so she brought this amazing watercolor. There was a boat, I think, in that
Mm-hmm.
drawing. And you brought out one of your watercolor pieces, and I took a picture of it. And we got a high resolution file out of that.
Huh.
Yeah, a long time ago. I remember this. It was like this is what watercolor's about.
Interesting. I've totally forgotten that. You'll have to show me that drawing.
Oh, I don't know where it
Oh, you
is.
don't have
You
it. Oh
you had the
man.
drawing. I took a
Oh, okay.
picture of it, and so somewhere in our emails is probably
Yeah.
that image is still there.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Yeah. Because Google keeps everything. It's in
Yes.
my email somewhere. So
Mm-hmm. It never
yeah.
forgets.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm working on cleaning up some of this outline. Let me see if I want a darker color here. And I want it more of a green, pink. I don't know what I'm doing with the colors. Thank you, Misty. Says I love the colors. But I try, I just tried my best to mash in some colors. One thing I did was I was looking up references for mermaids, and I was coming across a lot of fan art for the mermaid movie, that most recent one. And I was like, man, some of these artists out here are like, wow, where do they come up with this stuff?
That is, there's artists have unlimited creativity. So, um, you know, who knows where they pull it from, but I'm sure it's deep inside.
Yes, it's somewhere because man, it's like amazing some of the color combinations that artists come with to make your the artwork just pop up, pop in. Uh,
Yeah.
all right, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got going on over there. Let's see. There goes the
So,
car.
Dan, I'm just gonna start coloring in some
Yeah,
things.
but
Um,
you have a main drawing already almost done, ain't it?
well, I think something just happened. I
You think you lost it?
think so.
Click into those layers. Click into those
Hmm.
layers, the ones that are empty looking.
Yeah, I
Double
don't
click
know.
those layers. Double click it. Double click it. And then
Oh,
see they're
okay.
turned out. There you go.
Yeah,
There you
thank you. I
go.
was getting really worried.
Oof. Oof. It's okay. It's live. It's a live stream
Yeah,
and things happen. But it's
yeah.
also a great lesson. So here's what I was gonna do. If we
Hmm.
cannot, if they were gone, their layers were gone. What you want to do is you go back to your home screen. While you
Mm,
figure that out, I'm gonna explain it.
okay.
You go. I'm going back to my home screen so you can save the current drawing. And what the Creative Cloud has, and this is very important. You guys have to take advantage of the Creative Cloud. You can on your home screen, you have all your current drawings that are in the Creative Cloud, especially if it's on Adobe Fresco, they're in the Creative Cloud. There's little three dots next to the name of your file, and it says there's a drop down menu, and click on View Version History. And you could go back into a different version of the same drawing. And right here, I have the 5:35 p.m. That's our current time here right now in Atlanta, East Coast time. 3:23, so that was a couple hours ago when I was messing around trying to catch up to my drawing. And then 3:18, 2:16, and 12:46 p.m. So basically, I can select any one of these, and then it could change my drawing or revert it back to an earlier version when you still had something that you're now missing. Boom.
Good to know.
Yes. Pro tip, says Annika.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yes. Now, if you want to really, really, really pro tip, what you want to do is not mess around with here on the Fresco, but you can go through the browser into your Creative Cloud app files, and I think that's also available on the Creative Cloud app here on your device. And you can look for your files. There it is, and then get the earlier version from here, so that the current version still exists, and you have another version from before. Whew!
Well,
It's yes.
thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Yes. Man, that's the worst feeling right there when you lost artwork.
So the other thing is that I definitely should have also done is name my layers. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason why I couldn't find it too, is
Mm-hmm.
because I was looking at it and I have so many layers in this file. I shouldn't have done Fresco like this, but I was treating it like it was a Photoshop file.
Mm.
Uh, that's why it
Yeah.
started getting really heavy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do that too. In this one, in this file, I did start naming my layers. Not that one, I guess. This one says
Hmm.
corals. That one says just pixel. Let me see. Stars. Yeah, because it's easy to get lost.
Yep.
It's easy to get lost. Webfan is already making decisions. It says, I love DTM's colors and details, but my choice, even if I'm finished, is for TeMika. Oh my gosh.
Well,
Her,
I hadn't won yet, so let
not
me
yet,
not.
not yet. Wait till the voting. Oh my gosh. Her character eyes has simple lines that just take over the attention. Then TeMika's more, if I can't read the rest of. There's something here in the way, YouTube. I can't see the rest of the words. Then TeMika's more effect, but on the eyes. Okay. Yes. Yep.
Well, thank
Yep.
you.
And I think that's true. That's the character is that expression is super important.
Dan, before we log out, I want, if possible, to show them the sketch
Yes. Go
also.
ahead. Go ahead. Go.
Um,
Oh. Okay. The one you sent me.
yeah. Are
Okay.
you able to pull that up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Can I talk about that?
Sure. Sure. Let's see.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and grab it.
Okay.
And this sketch, you can also download it. I'm talking to everybody that you can download it by clicking through the link that's in the description of the video to download the sketches. But let's see. Yeah, I keep track of everything. I try.
Okay.
Let's see. Boom, bam. It's right there on the screen right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, talk to us about it. What happened?
Okay. So as you all see, the sketch is very different than the finished art. It was a whole lot of chaos going on that sketch, but what I was trying to do is use the rule of thirds to set up some composition for the drawing in the early stages, and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted it to feel really off balance and, feel like she was playing in her room and she was imagining this whole scenario of being able to drive in this cardboard
Mm-hmm.
car that she made. And it's time.
Yeah.
time. And I think I probably could have worked it out, but I might not have used this composition. So I just wanted to show that that's kind of where it came from. This was not necessarily what this ended up being, but you know, you sometimes you got to explore.
Yeah.
So,
And that's when, like sometimes the drawing talks to you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And it says you're doing too much.
that happens a lot with me. I do the sketch, I throw a bunch of stuff in it, and it's like, oh, now I got to render this. I forgot.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep. Yep. So anyway, I just wanted you to see that.
Yeah, it's
Because
very
sometimes
cool.
it does take a turn.
No, I like that sketch. I was very afraid of what was going to happen today because of that sketch. I was looking at that sketch and like, oh my gosh, there's a teddy bear, there's a friend. You can see the bedroom. This is they have toys in the background. The wind is blowing, so it feels through the window. So it feels like the car is moving. So the Afro puffs are kind of floating in the back of her head. I was like, oh my gosh,
I really just sent the sketch to you like that to fake you out
yeah,
because I wanted to get in your head and see, maybe if he thinks I'm going to draw that, he'll get nervous.
yeah. Maybe I quit while I'm ahead. Like, all right,
Right, exactly. But
psych.
yeah, yeah, but you're still here.
I'm still here. That's right. So I'm using the watercolors. Let me go ahead. I can turn that off now. Boom. And I'm doing in some details. Boom, just like that. Like a couple watercolors. There you go. And I'm changing the size of my brush at times so that I can make get different tones going on here. Yeah. Tammy Brown is joining us on YouTube and says, Tamika.
Hey, Tammy.
And I think,
That's one of the great staff at SCBWI.
oh, yes.
Yeah,
Nice. Well,
I love
welcome.
the people over there.
All right. Well, welcome
Yeah.
to the stream. All right. So we're getting down to the time for voting. It's the time to vote. And Annika is going to do us the big task of setting up the voting. So the voting is going to open real soon. And there will be a link where you can vote on your favorite piece for today. And so let me go ahead and do a couple of details on this piece here before I say I'm done, because it's not done. It's not done. Unfortunately, this is one of those where I challenge myself to do something, and yeah, yeah.
I like the way it's turning out though, Dan. It is looking really good.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Mhm.
Appreciate those kind words. I don't feel so bad. And
So, so,
go ahead.
so can you tell us a little bit about the elements you have in your background?
Yes, yes, and so I see your question too, Misty. We're gonna talk about it. And there's the poll. The poll. Ah. Okay, so here we go. Let me tell you about this. So of course she is an aquanaut. She has a wild imagination, and that's out of this world, right? And so there's Venus, and I did see the comments where they were giving me advice on suggestions on the color for the planet of Venus. A lot of oranges and yellows, and sure enough, and so in the background we have a jellyfish, and of course the planet Earth, and the Earth is coming in, and then a bunch of planets and stars in the background. Right, I just sat there and tap 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 tap, and I think I still have a sketch that's still on. Let me see that. No, right there. There we go. Boom. And so now there's a turtle, and so it's water or it could be space. It's your choice to decide what it is, because the coral reef is there, but also outer space. And there's a lot of pencils floating around, a lot of sketchbooks, because this is the art life all day. And so my wife has a summer camp for girls where we teach them how to build robots and code. And so I like always adding the STEAM element to some of my drawings. I put the A in STEAM. She puts the other letters in there, STEM. into the program. And so there it is. There's a spaceship. Boom. And it should have color on it. And I'm just going to throw a little bit of color while we get to the voting. So there it is. The time to vote is now.
Dan, I want to big up you just a little bit though. When it comes to the challenge that I gave you of imagination and child's imagination,
Uh huh.
I do think you really met the challenge because this is like really far out. Like it's ocean, it's space, it's art, it's kids, it's like all the things mixed together, and really that's what imagination is. So even though I like my piece, I think yours is pretty dope too. So
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. So you're gonna vote for me, right?
nope, I'm not.
Well,
and I'm
thank you.
telling and I'm telling all my people to vote for me.
Oh,
So
they say okay, okay. Get your people. Every
yes.
right now is the time to vote, everybody. So come on through. Let me see it. Where's my vote? It says I already voted. Well, let me see. Oh, there it is. The results. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the voting is 7-3 right now. You need to get more people to make.
Oh, they left me hanging high and
Oh,
dry.
oh.
Oh.
But this is a perfect time to talk about two things. Number one is the question by Misty, in as asking how many have I won in the DTM versus, and then and before we go, we're gonna make sure we check out some of TeMika's projects and portfolio. So do make sure you click through in the description of this video. There is a link to TeMika's website. Yes, there it is. And if you're on Behance, you should be able to see her. I guess it was only before it started, before the stream started, there was a Behance link. But if you go through TeMikaTheArtist.com, you get to see more of TeMika. And if you are in the Behance app, I think you can still click through TeMika's um, Behance. In any case, how many have I won? I was telling TeMika this earlier, and I think I got my numbers wrong. But anyways, I have lost one. I lost to Odari, and that's because all of you out there was voting for Odari's piece. And then I've tied with two people, and I can't remember the two that I tied, but I know I've won two. So I've won two, tied two, and lost one, and that is my record at this time. And it's a really fun, cool thing to do, right? It's just fun to do. We're not. I mean, if we had some sponsors with some prize money, it'd be cool because then we can, be like a real prize, like maybe even a trophy. But but it's really fun and time to be had, and I just like to frame it as an art battle.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah.
That's it.
You've been doing art battles for a while, but
Ye-
I like this new platform. This is good.
Oh, nice, nice. Yes, Facebook reminded me that a few years ago I was doing art battles at the Microsoft store, and then there was one where I brought you in. That's right, for a Microsoft event, and we had 8 of us going against each other.
Yeah, I think this is the most calm I've ever been on an art battle. So yeah, this one worked out pretty good.
It worked out very. That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
And so yeah, it's I've been doing art battles for a long while because I like the competition, the feeling of competition. But since we're all friendly and it's for fun, it's kind of fun competition.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
But I still like to talk junk though, so
There you go. That's right. No,
that's
you
fun too.
should, and you should represent.
That's right. That's right.
So okay, well, we got a few more minutes to go. Thank you everybody for the votes. Um, Odari's on the chat says I beat Dan on the first one. Yes, you're right, Odari. You got me. You got me. And and there's sometimes like this one where I want to experiment with the drawing, so it's gonna come out however it's gonna come out. And then there's times like when W was here and Vaughn, I had to go hard on them because they
Yeah,
they
yeah.
yeah, they some amazing artists, and
Yeah.
everybody who's been on my show is amazing. Okay, but like I wanted to be a contender against those guys, and so I had to stick to what I know. I had to stick to what
Hmm.
I know, and I think that's who I beat. I beat no, I think I came even with Vaughn. That's what it was, and then I beat Lauren. I don't know. DTM and the lead says Annika. Yes, it's 16-4. So let's take a second to talk about some of your projects, Tamika. I know that you just had a book published, and it's in the bookstore.
It is. It is. It's in bookstores and libraries, and it's available online. It's called "Put Your Shoes On and Get Ready" by Raphael Warnock. He's a senator here in Georgia, and I had the pleasure of illustrating the story that's about his life, growing up with his father and the inspiration that his father gave to him as he journeyed through his childhood into adulthood. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a wonderful, inspirational story for all children, and I'm glad I had a chance to be a part of it.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna ask you about SCBWI because even
Mhm.
so, Tammy Brown says in the chat, "Great work, Tamika," and
Thank you.
hashtag SCW. I said it
It's,
wrong. SCWI proud.
it's SCBWI.
Let's see.
It's a
Okay.
lot. It's a
Okay, it's a
lot,
lot
but
of letters.
it's a lot of letters, but it's the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators. And if you're a person who's interested in children's books, that is definitely the biggest organization out there. It's
Mm-hmm.
global, we're worldwide, and there's such a wealth of information and resources and community that you can be a part of. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been a member of the organization for a while, and honestly, I feel like it's been a really big part of getting me to where I am and
Mm-hmm.
being able to publish books. And I've been through a lot of different experiences with children's book publications, but
Mm-hmm.
SCBWI has really kind of taught me the way that I want to go and what I need to do to get there. So,
Big
yeah.
ups. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that, yeah, it feels like, and I know a little bit only because I watch what you do and it's on online,
Mhm.
is that it's like Behance. It's a community of like minded, motivated, creative people there to push each other, encourage each other, and also open the lane so that you can follow through in your passion in the
Yeah.
illustration and storytelling.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But the thing is like you still got to go after it for yourself. Like nobody's gonna give it to you or do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta want it, and you gotta chase after your craft, and that's the biggest thing is doing that, and then having the opportunities there for you. So.
That's right. And so, if you want to know more about Tamika's journey, and she shared a lot, you shared a lot of it in these live
Mhm.
streams here on Behance. If you check out Tamika's page here on Behance, you'll see some of the live streams, and go back and watch the replays.
Yeah, yeah. I had a good time doing those live streams. I'm gonna hopefully get started again soon. But that was a lot of fun. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of fun. So,
Yes.
yeah.
And she's always hanging out in our Discord. So make sure you follow DTM or Tamika so you can get access into the Discord and hang out with us. Loves Data on YouTube says, "Yay Tamika, yay DTM, woohoo!" That's right.
Dan, I think you need to start exploring those children's books.
I bet you know, and so my dream that's still one of my dreams. It's on my list. You know,
Hmm.
including not just making children's books, but going back through all those scripts from way
Hmm.
back, including that one script you wrote that you sent me, and I started to sketch, and and that it's a long journey. I think it's just a
Mm.
long journey. So I'm definitely not going to forget them. And my journey is not complete. It's not finished. No matter
Yeah.
where you are in the art world, at what level you're working in, there's still another thing you want to try, another technique, another theme, and so children's books is still on my horizon. That's right.
Hmm. Yeah. Yep. Children's books, comics, graphic novels, all that stuff. For me, I definitely have some other ideas that I want to put out into the world too.
Mhm.
I'm working on some stories that I'm writing, and I want to illustrate my own stories too. So,
Mhm.
so not just illustrating other people's, which I love to do, but I
Mhm.
have some stories that I want to tell too. So
Right. That's right.
it's coming.
There you
It's
go.
coming.
It's coming. Misty is asking, can we see the cover of the book? I don't know if you have that in Fresco, or did you do that in Fresco? What did you use?
No, I did that in Photoshop.
Okay.
Yeah, everything was done in Photoshop, and I don't have it accessible right now. But if you go to my website at tamikatheartist.com, you'll be able to find it there.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
And Odari
Mhm.
says, I miss your time challenge streams, Tamika.
Yep.
Those,
Yep. You like Odari likes being under pressure when he
yeah,
draws.
I was gonna say that's a lot of stress, man. That's stress.
Oh goodness.
Well,
Yeah, Odari had a great stream on Sunday though,
yes,
when he was
Odari,
drawing the
he
he was drawing the
streams.
hand.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I say yeah. He still streams right now, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. He's still streaming. So if you want to challenge Odari, he's always around.
Yeah, I'm good. I ain't gonna battle him.
That's
I'm
right.
not gonna do it.
Well, thank you, Tamika. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you hanging out with us today, and thank you for that great theme.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you were able to beat me this time. Next time I'll come back and beat you.
This time, that's right. All
You
right.
know.
Well, yes, yes. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out with us today. Stay tuned for more art battles featuring different apps, Adobe apps. Next, her style, Tamika, you gotta check her out. She uses the vector brushes and the pixel brushes together. Oh my gosh,
Mm,
it's insane. Yeah,
I will.
yeah. So
I
tune
will
in.
check her out.
That's right. Check it out. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tamika. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you for being here. You guys are all awesome. And we'll catch you next time. Have a good day, everybody.
All right. Bye, y'all.